We have 9 minutes of work. It's going to be 3 rounds of 3 different movements. That'll be 1 minute each of work. Mountain climbers, around the world, and squat with hip opener. This is working on core skill and strength in preparation for the workout coming up next. So you can rest when you need to, but really focus on each of these movements. We have mountain climbers first. 1 minute is a long time, so play around with your pacing. You might want to do a quick pace, then slow it down and ramp it up again, or you will do a slow pace for the full minute. For around the world, you'll do 30 seconds in each direction. You can do this with either a single dumbbell or without weight, really optimizing this full body stretch. The last movement is squats with hip openers. Start with an air squat, then do a knee drive while opening the hip outwards. Then reset if needed to do another squat. Do a hip opener with the opposite leg and continue alternating for the minute. Again, this will be 3 rounds and 9 minutes total. We have Coach Lauren leading the video today, and as always, you can check out the demo videos before we get started if you need more information or a refresher on any of the movements. We're gonna start with 1 minute of mountain climbers in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're gonna be here for 1 minute. We're gonna get your heart rate up a little bit to start off. Remember to focus on that tabletop position throughout the movement, so avoid your lower back from sagging, and keep those hands underneath your shoulders. Nice work. Remember that you can play around with the pace here on these mountain climbers. We have about 15 seconds left. We're gonna switch to around the world in 3, 2, 1, and switch. All right, we have around the world. You're gonna be on each side for 30 seconds. This is another full body movement, and you're trying to get a full body stretch and improve your body awareness. You can start with small circles if you need to, and you can also do this with or without weight. We're gonna switch to the other side here in 3, 2, 1, and switch. For this movement, when you're squatting down, make sure that your back stays flat, and also lead the movement with your eyes. We're gonna switch to the next movement in 3, 2, 1, and go. You have alternating squats with hip openers. You're gonna squat, open the hip to the side, squat, open the hip to the other side. Nicely done. On this movement, you can focus more on form and less on speed. Nice job. We have about 15 seconds left on these squats with the hip openers, and then we're going to switch to mountain climbers and start round 2 out of 3. We're going to switch here in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Nice job. We're about halfway through these mountain climbers. Remember, if you need to take a break, go ahead and rest. and then pick up when you can. We're going to switch to the next movement, around the world, in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Nice job. You're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, 1, and switch. You have about 15 seconds left before we start our next movement, squats with hip opener. We're going to switch here in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Nice job. Make sure you're driving the knee up and opening up the hip. Then squatting down, keeping your chest up and your eyes forward. We have about 15 seconds left before we start our final round, starting with mountain climbers. We're going to switch here in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Nice job. You're in this final round and you're halfway through these mountain climbers. We're going to switch to around the world the final time in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Nice job. Go ahead and switch directions. All right, we're gonna switch in 3, 2, 1, and we have squats with hip openers for this final minute of work. Nice job, you're halfway there with 30 seconds left.
So I thought I needed thought I needed so I thought I needed
All right, we're gonna finish off these 9 minutes in 2, 1, and time. Nice job, everyone.